G'day everyone, T-Nick back here again in Open TTD. You joined me just outside of Shortens at the tail end of 1930. When we finished up last time, we found out that Shortens has a coal mine. And of course, we also have a power station at Seinfeld, apparently, even though Seinfeld's all the way down there, and there is a frickin' lake in the way. Or even, would that be a harbour? Would you call that a harbour? I'm inclined to say that's a harbour. That'll be good for shipping one day, but right now, what I'm thinking is rail connection from this coal mine up to this power station to bring in a bit more coin. And then, of course, we can then link Shortens up with our main passenger network, either at Uterson, using our existing lines, or even just having a subsidiary station down here at Hamburg. Because long term, I'm thinking we're going to be having a line from Wolfsbutt, and it's going to come out here to Shortens via Hamburg. And then, of course, we'll have another line from Wolfsbutt, probably Itzehoe, and then come down here to Witten, and then just line its way out here the slow way. But that way, anyone who does want to go to Shortens will have a nice, reasonable express train. They don't have to go via all the other towns on the way. Excuse me. First things first, we want to get that coal connected up because coal is instant money, as we know. Then we can dick around with passengers later. But first of all, I am going to build the passenger station in town just so the town doesn't get shirty with us knocking down trees and going, you knocked down so many trees, we don't want you to build here anyway. No, I don't care. Just shut it down. Let me build my station, okay? I don't want to hear it. I'm done. Done with the whinging. Just want to build a station and move on with my life. There we go. Thank you, Shortens. What do they think of us now? They think we're good. Okay, so I probably overestimated the amount of... It's probably more of a, oh, hey, welcome to town, man. I see you built a nice big passenger station. Gosh darn, we are looking forward to you guys building a connection through there. Fantastic. Go team. So, yeah, probably overestimated it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get a 5-length... mining station there. Mining station? Is that what you're going? That's what you're going with. That's what we've said it is. So we're going to go ahead and run this around in a bit of a row fashion, just because I want to have a couple of coal trains running on this line. And then obviously we'll connect the main line up here somewhere. Now, is that going to go? That's going to go in the wrong direction. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? So we'll go ahead and put down a few signals on the loop-de-loop there. And yeah, we've only got this one little tiny bit of land that we can really bridge across at. So, I mean, it's not going to be cheap because the land is diagonal, because of course it is. So our bridges are going to be a lot of money. Can we go across? No, we can't do that angle there. The only angle we can do is this one. Excuse me. So we'll probably go... In fact, we might want to run ships in through here because it is a harbour. And in fact, that's actually cheaper to build it like that. So this, because we're effectively, raising the land, 95 grand, whereas this, 57 grand. So I'm okay with this. This is fine. So we'll raise this up so that we're one level up, just in case we do want to send some ships through here. And that got even cheaper somehow. Don't even understand it. Don't care. Having built it. Obviously, the ships will still ram into the pillars because that's what ships do in this game. They have no collision detection. But you know what? It's an old game. I'll give it that one. I'll give it a bit of a free pass on that. Now, we want the main line to come up along here sort of thing. That's going to line up perfectly with the coal mine. That's not actually what I wanted. I kind of wanted the main line to sort of run in alongside. And then we can have... we will have the junction here now that I think of it. I was going to have a bit of a runaway track up here. Not a runaway track, a bit of a run-up track for the coal trains to get up to speed before they crossed over. But you know what? We'll just do it on the cheap for now. We'll go ahead and connect this up. I realise we will need a second bridge fairly early on in the piece. That will be a lot more expensive because obviously we'll have to hang it over the water at some point. So either on this side we'll be hanging it over the water, expensive. This side, hanging it over the water, you guessed it, expensive. Well done. So run this track up here. And we are going to need to put a new unloading platform in here. Now, if we're going to row this, we probably want to do it on the other side. Or we could connect them both up and have them use the same station, the same depot, and connect them to the network that way. That's also an option. Now let's see, you want to come in around this way. So if we put another platform in here, we can always just move your station one down. So we might be able to get away with that. Yes, and then we'll just row it around. Excuse me, sorry, I got a bit of throat in my frog. And we'll just row you around the way you were, only just a few tiles lower down. In fact, I think this coal mine's actually backed off a bit. Yeah, we've started to see the train start backing up. So you guys actually still making decent coin? You're not really. Which one of you is the oldest? Yeah, train number 1, you're probably the oldest here. What are you, 10 years, 28? Look, we'll keep them all running because if you put pressure on the industries, they do tend to up their production a little bit. He says there's a coal mine that he's using decreases production because it's a jerk. It's a hoe? Yeah, it's a jerk. Pretty sure I used that joke last time as well. So why am I disconnecting that? We're still going to need that, you dummy. Pop that in there. Now you don't need it anymore, and you can disconnect the hell out of it. There you go. Well done, you. Go ahead and throw that in there, please. Obviously, we can't have 90-degree turns, so that's going to bugger everything up. Oh, crap, here comes the coal mine. Coal mine? Here comes the coal train, rather. Dun, 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 dun. Fixed it. Never mind. Yeah, I can't remember if I've turned the setting on to forbid 90-degree turns. I probably forgot to. But, yeah, 90-degree turns are the devil. And we don't have them because, well, see before, aforementioned, devil they are. We may as well just keep that unloaded like that and just go ahead and whack on a little bit of bare ground next to it. Bare ground being distinct from bare grills. So we can run this track down like this. Now I want to keep them separate here. I did consider having them use a depot. Actually no, because we're unloading this way, aren't we? Ooh, the BR01. I'm gonna say no, but I do want to build that later. Yeah, so we can actually connect this up here. Because my worry was that trains would come in here and try and use this platform and get horribly lost. But of course, because trains will be coming around the road this way, and we can include this this depot just in case we need to, do some last-minute repairs or something. So we'll connect this up down here, and then God knows where we'll connect this up to the main line. I don't know. But yeah, we'll go ahead and check a one-way signal there, one-way signal in there. Now, obviously, this will be a one-way trip to the depot because we're not going to be servicing here because otherwise that'll just get in the way of all of these trains. So that's just in case we need to send something to a depot to scrap it or even transfer it to another line. That's an option that we have available to us. Now, I want to connect this up like this. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect up to the rest of the line. Are we going to go around over the hill or are we going to go around this way and have another set of bridges? Because, yeah, we eventually want to connect up to this line. Obviously, this bit of track here isn't being used at the moment, but we'll use that for our passenger trains. And then we'll probably send them up the freight line and then cut into Uderson. Or we'll send them down this freight line here, which is already nice and busy. And then we could even follow up the grain line here into Hamburg Station that way. So, got a couple of options there, but that means nothing if we don't start running some coal trains. Now, this new unloader will need a depot as well. In fact, why don't we build the depot down about here? Because that way trains coming from Shortens can use it as well. So planning for the eventual double track, we'll just go ahead and throw a depot in just here. Excellent. In fact, we can actually have the loaded trains just stop in there on the way out so that they're max reliability for their trip. So that's an option we have. Yeah, the BR01 was tempting because obviously we're running a slightly longer coal route here. But I think we'll be fine with the 38. I'll just go ahead and whack down a few coal hoppers on him. So that should be enough there. Refit you to coal, just make sure everything's hunky-dory there. So if you could go have a service there, that'd be super duper. And just run your coal up to Seinfeld there, please. Good. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and get 2 of those trains running now. And then we'll obviously have to put in a couple of passing loops. One here just because it's simple, very simple. In fact, we may as well just double track this whole section the rate we're going. And where else are we going to squeeze one in? We can probably squeeze one in on the other side of the bridge because, again, we'll need that for the inevitable passenger trains we will be running. Built that a bit short, didn't I? Drop those one-way signals in there, please. And then we'll drop a couple of intermediates in as well, just for simplicity's sake. So this is good. 2 trains can line up. And if we have a third train, he can sit here as well if needed before moving out onto the main line without blocking everything up. So that's Shorten's coal mine, so that's going nicely. And yeah, we'll just build a bit of track out here and connect this up to the main line. So we'll run that line up like this, and I figure this line here will be the line we connect up to Seinfeld. In fact, we might even connect our way up to Wolfsbutt in reverse. We might leave Wolfsbutt as it is and connect Shortens to Seinfeld to Klingon, Bourne, and Eric's house. And, you know, in that direction. I mean, admittedly, we'll lose a bit of money on the passenger trains because passengers will be coming out this way just to go back again. So they're not taking the most direct route. But as long as we've got plenty of people coming to Shortens, we should be okay. I mean, this is not as unforgiving as the DB set. I see you've decided to replace the factory with an oil refinery. Does that benefit us at all? No, but Osnabrück Sawmills decided to pull up stumps, so good for you, Chief. No, we don't have any oil wells. In fact, the default TT industries are the oil wells basically just start on the map and then start closing. And the theory is that you're supposed to move from land-based oil transport to oil rigs. And that's why the default oil refineries only ever spawn within a certain radius of the map's edge, so you won't generally see them in the middle of the map unless someone's put them down manually. We got a fair bit of money we can pay back off the loan too, which is nice. I always like that happening. Good, first coal train is underway. We'll go ahead and throw down a bit of a depot here. Actually, we don't need a depot because we got one up by the coal mine. So we probably put down way too much track there, didn't we? Let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Just silly me. Talking, not thinking. Good, throw that down. Throw down a signal there and there and there. We've run out of money. And there. Excellent. Good. Right. Connecting the passengers up, that's going to be the challenge because we don't want to send them through this coal unloading station because that's not very becoming for passengers. However, what we could do is just have the line come around this way, down here. Won't interrupt these trains too much, and let's be honest, they're not really going great guns at the moment. In fact, that is something we will look long-term to replace with road vehicles, I think. So, yeah, we'll run a line down like this. We only need single track at the moment, and then we'll go ahead and split it up here. Wait for him to get out of the way before we can build much more. But yeah, in fact, why don't we... I know I said we were going to go to road vehicle transport, but why don't we just sort of, yeah, do a bit of a flying junction here, just in case that coal mine decides to up the ante and we decide that maybe we do want to keep the trains running. So we can just drop a little bit of a cheeky tunnel in here. That will be fine there, and that way we've also not impeded ourselves too much. And we'll run this down a single track, just because we're saving money, he says, having built and ripped up a piece of railway line that would have been perfectly good. We can pay that little extension of the loan down too. Good, so we'll drop a one-wayer in there for the coal trains. We'll drop a one-wayer in there for the passenger trains. And then we'll just throw down, no, we need another one-way signal there. Coal production at Itzehoe increases 21%. Whoop, whoop. How are we going with our subsidies, by the way? They are all expired. Fantastic. But yeah, so now the passenger train can sort of hijack the coal line. And I don't think the coal trains will hold up the expresses too much. It's only a short section. And then, of course, we're going to have to reimagine this junction here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all the signals that we have. Just because... we are. So yeah, what I want to do is rebuild this with a bit of track up here and a bit of track up here. And then I want to run this up like this here. So that way we can get rid of this little connection here because that's sort of not really required. And then we'll just go ahead and put down some new signals instead. That works, and that works. Good, sorry, you can move into the platform now. I forgot you were waiting for the road. And yeah, that should just improve the flow a bit better because that way the coal trains can dick around here, queuing up, and the passenger trains won't be interrupted coming up this line here. Good, now we need to double track this little section here. Now we've got to decide, it's probably not going to be feasible to come over this way. Just because we're going to have to Actually, no, hold on. What if we back this off? We built that prematurely, didn't we? What if we go under the iron ore line or over it and then come around the back of the factory? That's probably not going to work either. No, I really do want to use as much of the existing line as possible just because I'm a cheapskate. So what if we run this down here and then run this down here like this? This could work. There we go. So that way we then join this line here. We come up here. We will go through Uterson by the sounds of it. Although I don't want to. It's more of a detour on an already detoury line. No, just undo it, undo it. Control Z, make it stop, make it go away. We've got to come up with a better connection because yeah, it's not ideal. So no, I reckon we come over here, we keep it entirely separate. We come over here and then we come back over here up into Hamburg. Just to make sure we've got that direct connection between Hamburg, which will be the junction for obviously Hemmoor, Uterson, and everything else, straight down to Shortens. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll have to run this out. We'll run it over as a bridge over the existing iron ore line like that, just to avoid any conflicts. We'll go a nice little viaduct there. And then do we want to run around? How are we going to get... Actually, we could run up the mountains here and then run through and around like this, that way avoiding too much in the way of conflict. Yeah, let's do that. So run that up, straight line, straight line, straight line. Good thing we built these bridges here. You'd think it was all part of my plan, but I'm not going to take credit for that. That was not me. That was just a fluke. Run that up. No, don't build track up there, you dummy. Look before you click the mouse button. In what possible universe are we ever going to use that, you dummy? We may as well run a tunnel through here just to keep it flat, keep it speedy. And then, of course, we want to avoid the majority of the farm if we can. And bring it up perfectly in for a junction here. Boom diada. Excellent. So we'll just sort of throw that signal and move it over there. Now, eventually, I reckon we're going to end up with a sextuplified station here. Sex. Because we're going to have the suburban line will probably come through around the outside here. In fact, we might even reposition the station for him more out to this side of town here. Run it through like that and then off up to Buck's Hole. Up there, and then obviously we'll have this line come through the middle platforms, this line come through the edge platforms, and then they'll join up on this side. But that's a fair way in the future. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and double track the section away from the farm because demolishing farms is expensive, and I can't see this line making a lot of money from the get-go, although we are making money at an almost runaway pace, so we don't have to be too worried. That is a long stretch of track to not have a passing loop on, so let's go ahead and throw one in, I'll say there. That'll do. And then we'll start getting some passenger trains running and hopefully expand our network even more. Hopefully we get some uptake on that. People actually want to use it. So yeah, that looks good. Now, because we're going a longer distance, we are going to want the BR01, which has not actually been invented yet. So instead, we'll busy ourselves double tracking the section that time forgot, because I literally forgot to double track this section when I double tracked the rest of it. So, that's entirely my bad. Yeah, that was not an intentional omission. That was just me being a silly Billy, for want of a better term. So throw them down. Don't decrease coal production, Malchow coal mine. Excuse me. It's kind of relying on you to pay for my kids to go to university. So, get your shit together, please. How are you doing up here, Gadza Bush mine? You're still doing good work. And what about Itzehoe mine? It's doing great work down there. Fantastic. Excellent. Was there a sawmill down here that we went past? I don't think so. No, that was the one that closed down up here. Whoops-a-daisy. Yes, okay. So all we need is that BR01. And yeah, we'll be good to build another passenger train. No, it's still not invented yet. That's fine. I'll just cut forward to when that pops into being. Well, I just noticed that the BR01 is now available, but we've also been offered the BR85, which is a high-powered little tank engine there. So I'm going to knock him back, but we can go ahead and get on with building our BR01. I also remembered to rename this to Hamburg Main, because I sort of kept forgetting otherwise. So now let's head over to the depot at Wolfsput and see how much one of them is going to set us back. 175 grand. Well, I was paying the loan down while I was waiting, so we can just borrow that back up again. And we can go ahead and get ourselves... We'll probably want to go a full 5-tiler for this one. 4.4. 4.4 is fine. Oh, we get a little bit of room at the station. We really should rebuild this station when these guys decide they don't hate us anymore. Yeah, so we'll start off with a longer train for this one, just because I can see with a slightly more infrequent service, we'll need a bit more capacity to avoid too many people hanging around at the station. So for now, we'll stop at Itzehoe, but obviously as we get a better developed suburban network, we will be able to get rid of that. Straight down to Shortens from Hamburg, please. And then before you go back through Hamburg, I'd like you to go through Hamburg Main, through the station there. And, oh, good, coal at Gatterbusch has gone back up again. Coal at Malchow is slipping, though. That's not good. That's, I think, the second time in a row they've both done that. One's gone up, one's gone down. So, yeah, can we refit you to Rheingold as well? We can. Let's do that, just because, well, this is like a Premier Express train. So we'll go ahead and do that. And can we get a second one? That's going to cost 354. You know what? Spend money, make money, blah, 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 blah. Do that thing. And, yeah, send them off into the world. Good stuff. You guys go forth and do good work. Because, yeah, I can see our passenger trains are really outstripping the freight trains. What are we looking at? Last year, yeah, you know, our Rheingold trains that we've got running at the moment are just making a killing. And for argument's sake, obviously we're not going to make every express passenger train a Rheingold, so we're just going to dub this the Rheingold Coast. So, you know, the two intercity trains we have coming up this way will refit to be Rheingold trains. Anything else we won't really bother with. We'll just leave them sort of as normal trains. So that's going all right there. So you're doing good work down here. Yes, excellent. How are you going? You're probably pretty empty at this stage. Yeah, you've only got a few people from Wolfsbad, and there's only one person at Itzehoe. But that's okay. You're not expected to take off super quickly and make money. But yeah, while we're down here at Shortens, I will connect it up to Seinfeld just to get that baseline infrastructure in, and then we'll sort of assess where we go from there. So we've got a couple of factories down at Essens. We've got a bit of industry down here. In fact, we've got a farm right outside the factory as well. Because I'm wondering if, as we get more powerful and faster engines, we don't try and reroute our steel from this factory down to this one down here. So that's always a possibility. Just because the further you transport your cargo, obviously, the more you're getting paid. And this was a fine little area to start in. But now that we're expanding the tendrils of our network out into the sticks, you know, maybe we can make a bit more money by transporting our goods a bit further. Now, getting around this lake's going to be interesting. I reckon we'll sort of go up around the top here, come down here, bridge across here through to Seinfeld that way. So let's just go ahead and just knock down a little bit of land over here for the inevitable outwards journey. And we'll go ahead and build ourselves a couple of platforms. So we'll go ahead and get a nice little pot plant going on to start with, of course. I'm going to go with, let's keep it a small building for now. Let's just see how we go. We need a footbridge for people to change platforms. There we go. And we'll put a bit of a shelter in here. And yeah, I want to go another pot plant. Go another one there. That seems nice there. Yeah, good. Okay, so now, is this going to be a potential shipping route? Yes, so I'll build a nice high bridge here as well. Zoomed in too much. Didn't want to zoom in that much. That's a bit much. Okay, good. Yes, build a bridge. Get over it. We'll go the cantilever again just because that looks pretty. And no doubt it will cause a ship to decide he wants to go straight through the middle here, which is just hunky-dory. Now, this is not really conductive to a sort of a turnaround. Train 24 is lost. What's your problem, buddy? Wait, how'd you end up here? Why couldn't you go from here to Shortens? Did I not connect something? Sorry about that, buddy. If you want to pretend you went to Shortens and just make your way back to Hamburg Main and have another go, that would be fine. Yeah. Whoops-a-daisy. Where were we? We were down at Seinfeld. As I was saying, as this isn't conductive to having a bit of a turnaround, what I'm actually going to do is, just now that we've built the station, is build the track up here as if we're going to keep going, and then I'm just going to have a little bit of a detour here into a depot, and we'll just turn the trains around that way, because obviously this isn't going to be the end of the line, so it doesn't really matter too much. So we'll go ahead and follow the line up this way, and then cut across here, come down this way, and then obviously it's a nice straight shot over to our new bridge. That's actually fairly simple. May as well double track this section for now, and then we'll just go ahead and single track the rest of it, because why not? Yes, so we probably don't need to put path signals in. We can probably just put normal signals in here. It would help if we got them on the correct side too, just FYI. Run them down there, please. I've put too many signals in here. Good work, me. Let's get rid of that one and that one. Just bit of variety, why not? Good, that should be right there, and we'll go ahead and put down a one-way path signal there. And that should bring us down to the junction. Excellent. Good. So let's go ahead and get a nice little train chuffing along there. Oh, we don't have a depot down there. Good thing I built one up here to turn trains around. Again, entirely unintentional. Now these will be long distance trains eventually, but they're not the major express ones. So I'm going to just build the 1.8 instead of the 0.1. Just, save about 20 grand. Not that we're really hurting for cash, but, let's not get ahead of ourselves. And then we'll go ahead and just keep it a nice short train there and run him just as a bit of a shuttle from Shortens up to Seinfeld. And then he will hopefully turn around via that depot. So off you go. Chuff on, my friend. I put that signal there, and of course you're already lost. My bad. Sorry, friend. Sorry. Do you want to just try again? Amateur hour 100% today. We're really doing well. So let's pay down the loan a bit more. Let you have another crack coming through Seinfeld there. And we might leave that for a little bit. Just let it start ticking over, because he'll be bringing passengers from Seinfeld into Shortens, and then people from Shortens can then go up to Hamburg. Did any of the trains make it onto that line? I don't think so. I think they both ended up completely lost. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look. Profit last year. So you should be down the bottom because you made nothing. You guys are both lost, aren't you? Yeah, you're trying to go to Shortens, so we'll actually just switch you over to Hamburg Main, and you're going to successfully go through Hamburg Main. So far they're making one heck of a... No, don't decrease. You've been increasing solidly. Don't let me down. Come on, buddy. Come on, mate. What are you doing? How does Gatterbush actually think of us? Appalling. Cool. That's just getting better and better. So we won't be expanding a network up through Gatterbush anytime soon, because they really, and I don't want to understate this, really don't like us. Like, seriously, that's hurt feelings all round. How about Wolfspot? Are we able to upgrade our station yet? Very poor. No. Okay, so we probably want to stay away from that part of the world. I think we've done a bit of damage up there. Feelings have been hurt, mostly mine. Any industries down here we can connect up? No, just steel mills. No. So you know how I said we're going to move away from Seinfeld and Shortens for a bit and give them a bit of a chance to grow? Well, we've got nowhere else to expand to, so we're going to head back to Seinfeld for a bit of something different. In fact, what if we ran this line down here to Essence? Because that's a fairly sizable little town there, and that's going to be a nice little junction for us. So instead of having a direct connection to Shortens from Wolfsput via all these towns, why don't we have them all changing at Essence? So this line will come in here, this line will come in here, and if you do want to keep going that way, you can just change at Essence. Ooh, a Braunschweig forest. That's nowhere near where we wanted to be. So that's an idea there. And of course, Essence is opening us up to a few new industries too. We've got a nice iron ore mine here. We've got a nice farm there. We've got some sort of power stations just open up. In fact, we could really loop this line around here to Neusterlitz, I guess, as sort of one connection, and then have the line down from Wolfsput come down here and go a different way. Or whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. I got to stop planning things in advance, and I then forget about one episode later and go, I didn't know what I was going to do today. You know it's true. Now, Essence, I want to make this a really nice junction station. So I'm going to give it a nice big station building. So we'll go ahead and throw that down there. That's the wrong way around. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild that and just, waste a bit of money. Because this I can see being a major junction here. Good. So we'll put in a nice bit of station hall. Maybe just 2 tracks for starters. Will that look nice? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And we'll go ahead and put a nice under concourse over here, just like that. In fact, let's make it 4 tracks. Let's just future-proof somewhat, so we're not coming back and trying to upgrade it when the town hates us. Drop that in there, and then of course to finish lengthening out, we'll go ahead with a bit of plant at either end, just to make it a really big, impressive station. I realise it's 6 tiles long, and I've sort of been tending towards 5-tile stations, but that's because I want it to look really impressive. It's not because I can't count. Spoiler alert, it is. So what I'm picturing is with 4 tracks here, we can have 2 parallel lines coming in like this, and then they can split off on the southern end of town and do whatever they want. So we'll run this first line, straight through the farm. That's not going to be cheap, and it wasn't. Hey-o! So that was definitely a thing that's been done. We'll go ahead. We won't want to run 2 tracks for the get-go. We'll go ahead and actually, no, we want to make sure everyone can get into every platform just to avoid any heartache, like at the last game we played when we sort of had a few issues with trains that couldn't get into certain platforms and they got lost and they ended up on the third rail line and I got the shits. And it's a dark moment in history that we're just going to pretend didn't happen. You know, like everything else we do with history. So let's just run this out here, and that way we've got that track set up there. We'll throw in a depot up here for outbound trains on that route, and then I guess we'll probably just have a set of points in here just in case trains do need to use that depot. But hopefully they won't actually be using that like that. In fact, why don't we make it look kind of pretty until we're ready to expand by just having a nice couple of buffer stops in there. And just running this in, sort of have a couple of sidings, if you will. So that looks nice, bit of eye candy there. Obviously, you wouldn't park more than a single carriage here, so maybe that's just a loco siding, and maybe that is too. I don't know. Let's just fix that, and yeah, there we go. There we go. A couple of nice little sidings there for parking of 2 or 3 carriages. I don't know. Don't blame me. I'm just the contractor. Good. So signals in there. Now we just need to connect this up with Seinfeld, and we'll be good to go. So smash some landscape down there. We're probably knocking down a few thousand trees, and everyone has the shits with us. But whatever, they can just deal. We're not at the age where we start taking the environment seriously anyway. It's like 1933. So yeah. In this era, it was like, whatever, smash and burn, she'll be right. Good, so that's all connected up nicely there. It's a shame that factory closed, because it'd be nice to run the farm product over here instead of keeping it locally in town. And ditto for that sawmill up there, we'd brought a forest into the network here. So, you know, it's all coming up Millhouse in that regard. Now, we are going to need another passing lane along here. As we're going to double track eventually, we may as well go ahead and throw it down here. Just because, well, we just have to connect it up when we're ready, and go ahead and throw that down there. And yeah, we'll double up on the train we've already got. So where are you? There you are. Get a second one of those. Can't afford it. Cool. Borrow a bit of money. Get a second one of those. Cool. Off you go. You making any money yet there, friend? You're not. You're absolutely hemorrhaging money. So I'm glad I built a second one of you. That was some good foresight there. Now, after Seinfeld, I'd like you to carry on into Essens. And then, now we won't force you to service at that depot because you're just going to risk blocking everything else. Train 27 is lost. Why are you lost? You're going to Shortens, aren't you? Wait, Shortens is just down here. It's fine. Oh, no wonder no one's making any money. We didn't connect this up very well, did we? Whoops-a-daisy. I don't really have an excuse for that one. That was just, I was in such a hurry to build shit. And yeah, kind of screwed that up a bit. Cool. Is it too late to start the episode again? It is. Okay, fair enough. No worries. That's cool. That's cool. Whoops. New railway locomotive. That should be the 85. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that would be useful if we're running sort of heavy coal trains up a bit of a hill. If this coal mine actually started producing more coal, well, it's back up to sort of where it was. And if these guys were starting to struggle to keep up with it, I'd look at upgrading them. The 85 will probably be quite suitable for the trains that are trying to get over this hill, actually. So the grain train, for example, how are you doing? Oh, you're a 38 anyway, so you're okay. You're making some decent coin. Probably not worth upgrading you, though. You're not making that much coin. And these coal trains here are mostly downhill for their trip, so don't have to worry. So the 85, probably not a factor in this game. And that's okay. We don't have to use every bit of rolling stock every game, do we? Are you saying we do? Well, why would... We'll get to it then. Fine, we'll use the 85 later. Whatever. I'm not really going to use it. We do have a nice sawmill down there, but there's the small matter of a mountain range being in the way. But of course, that would be good because we could use electrics. In fact, although we want to go via the towns, we just go around the mountains anyway, so... Excuse me. So we probably just, if we do end up transporting wood, we'll just transport it via Bag End and Season, which should be renamed to Seesaw, and then Hornyberg down the bottom there, and we'll probably end up connecting that line around to Neusterlitz and Neukölln. These are all towns I'm going to have to get used to saying because we're going to be in this for the long haul. In fact, yeah, this line here, the one that comes out of Shortens, we probably can bring him around to Neusterlitz, We can have another line that starts here at Essens, runs down through Bag End all the way around back, probably back in on itself, unless we ended at Neusterlitz or something. And then obviously we've got to connect up Nienberg, which we can do by heading down this way. But this here is an opportunity for a ferry, and I like ferries. Hey, look, I found some oil wells, finally. No oil refinery nearby, of course, so, you know, what are you going to do about that? Any industries we can bring in here? Here we go. We got iron ore to steel to factory. Yeah, I'm liking that. Of course, we've also got iron ore over here, which is even better, because we can iron ore up there, steel back, using the existing line. Although the only catch is the line will get in the way of our junction. If we go around the back of the forest, I'm sure it will be fine. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Now that I think of it, we've got the money, we've got the drive, and it would be a nice way to finish off by sort of extending our freight network as well. So we'll go ahead. We'll go a 5-tile station here. Yeah, drop it in there. And connect you up in a sort of a ro-ro fashion as per usual. And of course that lends us to having a passenger line come out this way as well, through Neuenberg, and then, no, that's going to go down there. We won't really run passengers over here. This will be a purely freight line then, I guess. Huzzah! That sounds wonderful. Good. Yes. Okay, so connect you up. That's a bit ugly. We'll just have it come in like this here, and then connect up there. Now I want to do all my train servicing probably up at the steel mill, because that will capture every train except any goods delivery train, but that'll probably be trucks. Let's be honest there. So put a one-way signal in there, and then go ahead and drop in just a couple of signals around the loop just to keep the trains moving, and yeah, that should be fine there. Now, do we want to go over this hill? Yeah, it's not going to be too bad to tunnel through it. Just the one tunnel. No, it costs 80 grand. Okay, well, let's build the tunnel in the wrong spot too. That's always a good way to go. So that was entirely intentional, probably. And let's just go ahead and run this through here. Now again, we're going to have to make sure we can unload iron ore from both sort of mines. So go ahead and put this in like this. And then how do we want that to run? We want the train to come through and around. No, we'll probably want to run this way. So yeah, that might be beneficial, having separate unloading points for both trains in that case. So we'll run you in like that. You can unload in that direction, and then I guess come around the back here. Now I want to have a separate station for steel loading, just to avoid any steel trains blocking up the old unloading. And unlike in the last game, we actually have room for that sort of facility here. The only catch is this train unloading might get in the way. So we're gonna have to figure out work around there. How would we do that? So you need to be able to come around this way. So you might have to go over the top of the steel station here. So we'll bring this down here, put a junction in here, and we'll go ahead and throw our depot down. Let's see which way. No, we'll chuck it on the other side, because that way outbound trains can duck into the depot without interrupting inbound trains. Yeah, and that looks ugly as hell. So we'll just go ahead and back that off a bit. Put it there. There we go. That's fine. And now you think we wouldn't have to double check, but we do. Is everything connected up here? It is. Good. Because apparently I have a history, twice in one episode, of not connecting things up. Now, you're going to row around. Oh, this is going to be a big mess, isn't it? We're going to have tangled tracks and schmozzling everywhere. Why don't we just not row it and just say we did? You know, we can have this. This is the unloading station, so they can come in, unload, turn around, go back again, and then the other trains can come in here, unload, go to the depot if needed, and go back again. Yeah, that's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. Just save having loops of track everywhere, and of course that signal there is going to look ugly. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Least efficient, but you know, easiest way to build it. We're going to need a passing loop? No, not yet, probably because we're only going to have the one iron ore train to start with. Now, the 85 might be a good bet here. What's here? 168, 72. Oh, it's entirely flat. I do want to use the. What's your problem? What are you guys queued up for? What are you queued up by? You're the only trains on this line. What's your struggle? You want to go to Scheinfeld? Yes, which is here. Why can't you draw a path in there? Man, this line has been nothing but trouble from the get-go, has it? So why don't we throw you a new couple of signals down here? We can get rid of that one. Are you gonna You're not going to have a problem now. Okay. And connect a bit of track up there. And then once he's cleared through here, we can put down another signal this way and just hope that fixes him up. So you keep going there. Now we're going to put a signal here, and hopefully this solves all of your woes, because I honestly don't know why you were having a bit of an issue then. You know how to go. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I think we fixed it. But yeah, as I was saying, we probably don't need to go to the expense of the 85 here, because the 38 will be sufficient. And I mean, you're saying why don't you use the 01, because that's possibly a freight engine there. Well, it is, but you know, we don't know, because the 18 we can't attach freight wagons to, so maybe we can't attach them to the 01. No, we can. No. But yeah, of course, I don't want to go for the extra expense, because our freight wagons are limited to 60 k's an hour. Although we do have the new generation. See, they're only limited to 80 anyway. So the 100 k's, you know, it's negligible. Why would you pay for 130 when you can do the 100 one, and it's limited to 80 anyway? So go ahead and build up a nice long train for you. Refit you to have iron ore, please. What's that, 200 tons? Yeah, it's a good thing it's all flat, because I think you'd struggle to get up the hill somehow. So if you could full load up there at Essens Mines, and just run up to Twistring and Twisties east there. Good, yes, and have a bit of a service on the way back. We can pay down the loan a smidge too. That's good. So we'll see how we go with one train on that line for now, while I go ahead and build this second line up here. So go ahead and connect all this up like that. And then, yeah, as I said, we can just have them turn around on the platform, unless I want to go down to the depot for a bit of a service. That's something we can do. So run this up here, and then yeah, obviously we'll just chuck in a little run station here as well, just to keep things moving, and just in case we do want to have a couple of trains on that. That did not line up well at all, did it? Let's just back that off. There we go. It's like nothing ever went wrong. And then of course we'll just run around the mine here like that, with a nice pleasing loop there, just to keep it flowing, keep it moving. Good. And then of course trains coming in this way, nice and simple. So throw ahead, throw down a couple of one-way signals there to make sure everyone actually uses the loop and doesn't try and turn around and come back again. And that's all nice and flat too, so we may as well go to the 38 again, who has already naffed off down there. So have a bit of a clone, and then instead of loading at Essens Mines, I'd like you to load at Whitton Mines, please. There you go, buddy. Off you go. Go forth and go find some iron ore that we can turn into steel. Now, there's no point making steel if we're not taking it anywhere. So to finish up, we should probably go ahead and connect it up to this factory down here. I mean, I'd use this one here, but it's just going to be in the way of everything. Down here, at least we've got a bit of room to breathe. Now, we'll build a nice little goods station here, because, well, even though we're going to be unloading steel, we might need to load goods to take it down to somewhere else, Nostalitz or Neusterhaus and Nukeldinken, you know, whatever. We'll start with the one-track station, just because we're not moving the goods out just yet, although we could probably truck it into Essens right now. Do you accept goods? You do! Oh, I'm happy with this. So we can probably just sneak a nice little goods station in around the back here, and put a little run around here. And then obviously connect that up like that. In fact, we could probably put two down if we really needed to, but one should be enough for now. So, yeah, that's going to be our first road vehicles of the series. Actually, I don't think we've built. And don't decrease it. This is why we're building new lines, because the old lines are just failing. Now, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for this chap to get out of the way. Okay, so we probably should keep an eye on the older parts of our network to make sure they are still running optimally, because, yeah, we tend to sort of keep building and forget about them, and, well, that's a shame. That's not a very good iron ore mine. It's a good thing I put such a big train on there. Yes. Now, we'll need a signal here, and, of course, now we'll need some sort of double-track passing loop situation. And, of course, nothing lines up the way you want it to, because some idiot built the tunnel around the wrong way. Oh, that was me. Oh, yeah. Good work, you numpty. So, yeah, got some passing loop action in there, and then it's a long single track section. We'll double track a bit of it for now. We've got the coin. I don't know why I'm being so stingy with the old double tracking, but I just like the look of the single track line with the passing loops when you're not running many trains. It might not be optimal for profit making, but yeah, it just looks cool. Now we'll go ahead and get the 38 again, because I'm pretty sure the stake wagons are 80 k's an hour. And we'll go ahead and build that up to a nice long train as well. If you could carry 200 tonne of steel, please, I'd be eternally grateful. Have a bit of a service on the way out, and then just head down here to Essens Woods. Now, I've left the buffer stop off here because I was planning on extending it, but I may as well just build one just in the short term, because buffer stops are cheap. Let's be honest, we're not really saving much money there. So you will go ahead and start waiting for some steel, and of course that happens to be a crappy iron ore mine as well. Good work, us. Makes me really want to start diverting the iron ore from this mine up here and this mine up here down here once we get a new line connected up, because I can see this steel mill being a good, well, we've got plenty of room to build at for starters, but I can see it being a good focal point to send steel out to various factories around the map, assuming we don't get distracted and build something else instead. Now, you guys actually started making money. They have, good, okay, and they're making good money too. There's quite a few people on board that train. How are we doing up at Seinfeld now that we've finally connected it up? Yeah, 70 people. You're actually running at capacity. Good work. So, you know, now that we've finally gotten all the bits of track connected that we needed to, we're actually going to see a bit of a profit turned here. So that's good. So bring the loan up a bit and go ahead and run another train there. Now, last thing we need to do. Oh no, it's increased. It's fine. I thought it said it decreases, and I was really upset. Now that says it decreases. That's disappointing. Is it because we're not running enough trains in here? We've got 2 going. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, so to finish up today, I would like to go ahead and just run the goods into Essens there, just to help the town grow a little bit. So we'll go ahead and drop a. Actually, no, we want to connect the truck stop up with the goods station, so they're sharing a source of goods. Just in case we do want to start running goods out via rail as well. So we'll go ahead, have a bit of a run around the station there, and then just run the road into town. And I just realised that road's going to get in the way. Also, I built it slightly off. Whoops-a-daisy. Just run that down there. Yeah, I also realised that's going to get in the way when we do extend the passenger line out here. So I'm kind of just hoping that forest just closes down at some point. But, you know, the one that was in the way over here at Wolf's Butt, that hasn't gone anywhere, so, you know, I'm probably just pissing in the wind. Now, we need a truck depot to build some trucks, so we'll go ahead and drop that down, let's say, there, just for nowhere else better to do it. And let's have a look at what our available options are. We've got, what do we want? The box truck. We've got the Mahan box truck, 40 k's an hour, 15 crates of goods. That should be okay. If you could go ahead and full load down there, please. Have a bit of a service if you need to. Drop your goods off, and then on the way back have another service just in case, because obviously it's a long journey for a 40k an hour truck, and we don't want you breaking down heaps and gumming up the works. So we'll start with 2, and we'll just see how we go, because obviously we're going to have fairly infrequent steel deliveries down here. So even if there's a big pile of goods waiting, it's going to take a little while to go back and forth. Speaking of steel deliveries, are we any closer? No, 0%. So we haven't actually had an iron ore train unload just yet. That's okay, we'll get there. In fact, one other thing we can do is connect this up by road. So I might go ahead and do that. We'll build a separate station for it. Well, there goes Lingen Iron Ore Mine. Oh, that was one of the ones that I noticed were in a pair, and if they had a steel mill, it would have... Oh, well, it doesn't bother us. We're nowhere near that part of the world yet. Livestock production SM farm. Oh, of course it decreases. That's okay. It's still going pretty strong. But yeah, so as I was saying, I want to keep a separate station for unloading, just to avoid having too many trucks blocking the loading and then gumming up the work. So we'll go ahead and put in a proper unloading station. Proper unloading. No, you had the wording right. Connect it up to the depot, and then obviously we'll connect it up to the town in this direction. Because that's more convenient than going, actually it's probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it? Because you're coming up this road anyway, so it didn't really make much of a difference. Go ahead and pop in Essens refuses to, why? What have I done to you? Except knock down all your trees. Let's have a look, transparency options. Oh, I didn't knock down that many trees. Don't know what you're really sooking about. So let's go ahead, we're probably not going to build anything in this section here. Except a train line eventually. Good work, me. What do you think of us now? Mediocre. That's how that goes. The nice thing about having farms around is if you've got the money, you can replace the fields with trees, and the farm will just plant the fields back itself later. But of course, that's a big empty space to plant trees in, so you can quite quickly get your rep with the town up, which is always a good thing. But of course, just like bulldozing fields or building track through them, it's heinously expensive. And oh, there was a subsidy available and we've missed it by probably about a month or two. Oh, isn't that frustrating? What you doing? So you're waiting to come into the platform, and you can't because these two trains are waiting to leave because you're waiting to come into the platform. Right, that's just an all-round good job by me, continuing our tradition of excellence. So if you could turn around and just pretend you've already been to Shortens, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of this signal here. And we're going to go ahead and just put a bit of a passing loop in at this end here because, well, yeah, I kind of should have seen that coming and didn't, so that's on me. Go ahead and put down a couple of one-wayers down there. So, yeah, let's hope we've fixed up that little mess. Good. Okay, so you're off. Yeah, I should probably care about that, but I don't right now. Ooh, new forest at Utterson. Of course, that's in the area where there's no sawmill. Good work, team. Yeah, so hopefully we've fixed that up and we can get on with building our livestock and grain trucks. Probably go grain, although we could probably do both. I mean, 81 is still a fairly reasonable number, especially when you're talking road vehicle transport. In fact, we should probably double up the station up here to make sure we've got plenty of bays for things to load in. And then we'll go ahead and put a road around the outside so we can access every one of them. So we can have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 trucks loading there at any one time. Now, what are we going to put livestock in? Not the box truck. I think it's the flat truck that wants to take livestock. That takes grain, so we'll go ahead and build a Mahan General Hopper truck. General Hopper, have a bit of a salute there. So if you could load up at Essens West, run down to Essens South, and then just have a bit of a service if you need to. And we'll go ahead and build, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, why not? We'll just plan for the best, expect the worst. And it's a good thing I built that road there because none of you want to use it. So go team. And then, of course, I think it's the fitter flatbed truck. Yeah, livestock. There we go. Good stuff. Refit you for livestock. And if you could share the orders there, that would be wonderful. And we'll go ahead and set up 10 of those, let's say. Probably overkill, but also might not be overkill, so we'll find out. It's just paid out a big chunk of the loan too. Ooh, new factory at Lingen. That's literally nowhere near where we are. Let's now spend the next half an hour crossing the map to get back there. God, we're really smashing the loan though. We're about 2 payments away from complete repayment of it. So that's fantastic. So I might do that off camera, ladies and gentlemen, because yeah, that brings us to the end of our episode today. As usual, I would like to thank you for your company. Thanks for watching. This has been another episode. Oh, it's a steel train. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. So we'll finish up by watching our steel train cross over there near the iron ore mine. But yeah, I've been T-Nick. This has been Open TTD with the DBXL set. As I said, thanks for your company. I hope you enjoyed the episode and I hope you'll tune in again next week. Until then, later days.